Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go out to thrift stores, or I go to estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist, and I look for things that either make me feel happy or tell me a story. And I bring them back here, try to find out as much as I can about them, and tell you guys about them. So here's what I got for you today. I have this lovely glass bowl, which is going to be a little difficult to see because obviously it's just that. So we'll just turn it on its side and give you some rough idea of the whole thing. Now it's milk glass or white glass on the inside, and it's obviously been cased. It's got this lovely purple glass on the outside, and I don't think I can really call it quite purple. I think it's a little bit more of a cranberry color. Hard to say really. Now get the measuring tape. It is just under 7 inches across. I say 6.75. And height is probably about 3.5 inches at its highest. Okay, so where did I get this? I bought this for, if I remember correctly, $7 in a thrift store months ago. I picked it up because I saw the ruffles and immediately thought Fenton. And to be honest, like, even when I picked it up and looked at it, I thought, I don't think this is Fenton because this seems awfully boring for Fenton. They're usually got a lot more going on. They don't have this kind of muted kind of color going on, I don't think, anyway. Apart from that, what exactly is this? Like, this is pressed glass, obviously. So the glass would have been pressed into the form. Okay, and you can see here, there's got like, I'm not sure what you guys actually call them. Would they be leaves or would they be feathers or any kind of stylization? Hard to say. Well, they would have been pressed into the form and then taken out and then obviously shaped using ruffles and crimped as well. Now the interesting thing about this one is that the crimping, it's kind of a little bit difficult to see, is actually wavy. And this is unfortunately the reason why this little vase has completely stumped me for months, literal months. I cannot tell you who made this. You would think something like this would be distinctive, and it's not. It's quite literally driven me completely batty for the best part of, I think, 3 or 4 months at this point. I got this probably around September, October last year. It's insane. I've literally just been, I've left it and I've kind of, tried to figure out a little bit more and then come back, or ask some people and then come back. And I have to say, this is going to have to be one that has just completely stumped me. I cannot figure it out. Whatever it is, it's gonna, yeah, what are you gonna do? There is only really one kind of candidate, I think, for who could actually be the manufacturer of this. So for what it's worth, I'm going to show you guys. Maybe you can decide whether it's accurate or not. Come on, iPad. Okay, so I got pictures here of pieces by the Kanawha, if I'm pronouncing that right, Kanawha Glass. Now, Kanawha it's a company that was, if I just get it there, yeah, again, West Virginia seems to be the place for art glass, in the middle of the 20th century, go figure. So Kanawha was only really around for a very short time. They started in the 1950s and kind of, fizzled out in the late 1980s. But in the 1970s, when they were operating, this is kind of thing that they were really known for, like these lovely baskets and this milk glass, the cased milk glass specifically, with these baskets with this unusual pressed base. And you can see that some of the ruffles here are kind of maybe broadly similar to this. Now, the problem with this is that the Kanawha glass, if you actually look at it, and I've spent quite a while looking through their catalogs, all of them, especially the case milk glass, is very brightly coloured. And this obviously is not. It's so muted. This was basically the only thing I got. This was just really a suggestion by another collector from the Glass Collecting subreddit, and where I basically ask questions when something really stumps me. And one of the other collectors suggested, look, it might be Kanawha, like it's kind of got the style. I'm not sure if it is, but that's kind of the closest. And to be honest, I really don't know. This just doesn't seem like their thing. Shape, yes. Color is completely wrong. But it leaves me in a bit of dilemma. Obviously, I bought this obviously for $7, but what's it actually worth? What could I sell it for? And that's the problem. I really don't know, because unless you actually know the provenance of something, you need to be able to say who made it, where did it come from. Unless you've got provenance, you don't really have much. It's probably as is. The thing is, for you have to price based on what it is, and that's basically it. It's probably worth maybe about, what I paid for it, $7 or $8 Canadian. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's vintage. It's kind of nice. Maybe someone would like it for that. I really don't know. This is probably going to be a mystery item that I put up on Etsy. It's possible that someone will like it and think it's, nicely gothy, and maybe that's their aesthetic, their style. I personally think it's quite nice. I'm not going to be keeping it. I bought it to try and discover what it is, and unfortunately, well, I've basically failed in that. And the only other hint that I can kind of think of is that because the glass is slightly cranberry, I have always kind of, anytime I see that kind of like, that kind of dark, kind of muted kind of shade, not maybe quite this, I think the cranberry, from Bohemian glass is usually a little bit more red, but for whatever reason, this kind of makes me think a little bit of that, that European like mid-century glass. Possibly it is, it's hard to say. So maybe somebody watching this is going to know what this is, or has seen one before, or maybe knows the manufacturer. If you do, hey, please tell me. I'd be very interested to know. For the time being, I'll put this up on Etsy for maybe the $10, $15, something that at least cover the cost and cover shipping, and then maybe someone will like it. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.